Hi, I'm Rebecca and I volunteer with the Brain Tumour charity. I was diagnosed with a brain tumour when I was a teenager, and I've been left with lifelong complications which cause symptoms like fatigue, headaches, brain fog, and more, all things that really can impact me in the workplace. I've actually navigated telling multiple employers about my diagnosis and my ongoing health challenges, and I wanted to share my experience with you. So, choosing to tell your employer is a really personal choice, and it can depend on a number of factors, lots of which there is information about on the Brain Tumour Charity's dedicated webpage. But for me, I chose to tell my employer for a number of reasons. So, firstly, there were colleagues, whether that was team members, whether people in HR, or my direct line manager, that I felt really comfortable talking to about my experiences and my personal diagnosis. And that was so important. It made it really easy to explain how I feel and to talk through any accommodations or changes that I thought might be useful. So that comes on to my second reason for telling my employer was accommodations. By telling my employer about my diagnosis, they were able to put in place different adaptations to help me work at my best without exacerbating my health challenges. At one of my jobs, they had a medical bay, so if I had a headache, I could go and take a lie down, just kind of take the edge off. In my current role, there's quite a bit of travel involved. So for kind of long journeys, early journeys, they'll actually pay for a hotel, which allows me to travel the night before and take that pressure off of traveling in rush hour. And by talking to my employer about these accommodations that I needed, they could make suggestions, and so could I, to try and make the job a bit more accommodating for my ongoing health needs. And kind of the third reason that I chose to tell my employer and my colleagues was that it allowed me to talk more freely about my symptoms, how I'm feeling, and also dispel any myths that they might have had around kind of brain tumour diagnoses. It also meant that when I was doing fundraising efforts, I chose to share those with my colleagues, and it made it a real community experience, and they were able to donate and support me in those. Now, not everyone will feel as comfortable as I do in sharing their diagnosis and their experiences with their colleagues, with their employer. However, that is totally normal. You have to do what feels right for your personal situation. And I would really recommend kind of talking through all the pros and cons and any worries that you have with a friend or a family member, someone who knows you really well, because that's definitely the best way to become really clear in your head as to what you want to do and how you want to approach telling or not telling your employer about your diagnosis.